Today we're going to talk about being yoked. What is yoke? Uh, no, we're not talking about when you yoke an animal. It's no. We're not talking about a yoke, like a joke. In reference to the Bible, what is being yoked? Okay, let's go to scripture. One more time. 2 Corinthians 6:14. We're just going to concentrate on that part where it says, "Do not be joined to unbelievers. What do wrong and right have in common? Can light and darkness be friends? How can Christ and Satan agree? Or what does a believer have in common with an unbeliever?" 2 Corinthians 6:14 and 15. All right, this depends on what are you calling is yoked. Now, when it says here in the 14th verse, it says, "Do not be joined together." Now, join in this sense is not being like married. This is like if you're friends, friends with you cannot that can also be considered as join. So God is saying not to be yoked to unbelievers. If a person doesn't believe, we can tell them, and God would change them. Our duty and our job is to tell a person about Christ. That's what our job is. Our job is to try to change them or trying to force them to do anything or join this church, join that church, or talk about them or anything. Our job is just to tell them what God has done for us and let God work on that person. But if that person doesn't want to, if they, the reason why God's saying not to be yoked to these type of people, of unbelievers, is because if you stay in contact with them too much, you're eventually going to end up the way that they are. So instead of being yoked to them or together or joined together, it's best not to be with them. I mean, it could be your best friend. You end up acting like what they say, a bird of a feather flocks together. That's the type of thing it's talking about. So instead of being around them, if they don't want to change or not don't force them. No, I'm not saying to force anyone to change. We all have been there. We all have been there. If we consider ourselves believers, yes, we've been there. So, but it's just good to put a little distance in between so you do not end up being the same way, especially if it took you a while to get that foundation back under you. We all slip, we all backslide, we've all done things wrong, but it's hard to get back. Just like when you fall behind on paying bills, it's hard to catch up because those bills are still accruing, they're still accumulating and everything. So the same thing here, the same thing in life. Once we fall behind, it's hard to get back. Best thing is to stay right with God as best as you can, especially in the way where everything's going today. And it's not good to be yoked with someone who doesn't, because then you want to be the same way that they are. Or you may end up being the same way that they are. I'm not saying that they're going to heaven or the person that's doing right is going to heaven. That's all up to God. But your chances are better when you obey the commands and do as God intended us to do and live as He intends us to live. God bless you every second, every minute, every hour of every day.